Hi, everybody. First of all, I want to thank you for your kind messages yesterday. You're so wonderful. And today, I'm going to give a speech to a group of parents at an elementary school. And these are parents of children with various diagnoses. So, parents of children with disabilities, special needs. And they asked me to come because I have two children with special needs, and they thought maybe I could give these parents some hope because they're feeling a little down. And I know it can be overwhelming. I know that feeling, and I'm hoping that I can help them feel a little more hopeful and a little less stressed out. And so for any of you who might have children with special needs, this is for you too, or maybe someone you know who has a child with special needs. My ready-made family, my bigs, I have three children who were Aaron's children. When we got married, I have three stepchildren. My oldest of those, Laurel, has Down syndrome. And if any of you follow me on Facebook, you've probably seen her pictures. I love Laurel so much. She'll be 30 this year. Can you believe that? She'll be 30 this year. And I know that Aaron was nervous when we were dating, that I would be afraid of the responsibility of marrying a man, not just with three children, but with a daughter with Down syndrome. He did not know that Laurel was a big reason of why we got married and why we stayed married. Laurel is such a joy. She has no guile in her, no ability to be unkind purposefully or manipulate. I mean, yeah, she can get mad. I mean, she can throw a temper tantrum the size of Montana. I mean, she can do things. But if you were to ask me which of my five children is the happiest, I would say Laurel. And what does a parent really want? Parent wants her child to be happy. Because what do they say? I mean, a mother is only as happy as her least happy child. I'm never worried about Laurel. I never worry about Laurel because she's always happy. So when Aaron and I got married, I told him that I couldn't have children. This was my belief. I had not had it medically confirmed, but I believed I could not have children. So when I got pregnant at 39, this was a big surprise to me and to Aaron, who said, I thought you said that you couldn't have children. So we had Ethan, who is now 13 and is a very large, strong, funny, wonderful, loving boy. And then we had another surprise baby. We had Aiden when I was, I guess that was 41, 42, in 2006. And Aiden is a precious boy. He has a fighting spirit. He's beautiful. Aiden has what's called Noonan syndrome. And I remember on the 3-day checkup, the doctor found a heart murmur and they sent us up to Primary Children's. And for any of you who have children with any kind of special needs, this is going to sound familiar to you. Suddenly, there were too many doctors in the room. And when there are suddenly too many doctors in the room, and then there's a social worker in the room, you know you're in trouble. My husband couldn't be there on that particular day, and the doctor said, are you sure your husband can't be here? And I said, yeah. How bad is it? And then he proceeded to tell me about Noonan syndrome. I had never heard of Noonan syndrome. At first I thought he said Newman syndrome. And I thought, there's a syndrome named after Paul Newman? Really? He's got a salad dressing and a syndrome? Then he told me, please don't go home and Google this, as if that was possible, that I would not Google this. I listened for as long as I could, and then I knew that Aiden was hungry. I needed to nurse the baby, and I needed to stop listening to them. It was a cold January day. Aiden was born on December 28th. I went out to the parking lot. Snow was just starting to fall, and I put him in his car seat in the back seat. I got in the front seat, and then I realized I'm not driving. I got in the back seat and sat next to Aiden. And at first I thought, oh no, there's something wrong. But that thought lasted about a half a second until I looked in his eyes and knew he is perfect, exactly as he is. Those whole 9 months, I prayed every day, please don't let there be anything wrong with the baby. When you're an older mother, that is your prayer. And there is not, even though he has a special need. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of how, did you ever want to marry someone and they don't ask you to marry, or they don't, he doesn't ask you to marry him, and years later you realize you dodged a bullet? At the time, your heart is broken and you think, I wanted him. But years later you realize, man, I dodged a bullet with that one. This was my moment. I realized I was praying for there to be nothing wrong with the baby, not realizing that he was perfect with his syndrome or whatever, and I would not want one thing to be changed. Aiden will be shorter than most people. He's tiny, and he's perfect. Everyone loves Aiden. He is so social, much more so than me. And when he's in a crowd of people, they just come toward him. He's got these blue eyes and a loving spirit. I don't know what the future holds for him, but I know there is love in it, and I am blessed to be his mother. So here is my message for parents of children with disabilities. It gets easier. Tell your story. Lean on your family and your friends whenever you need to. People want to help. Because there are days when you're, changing diapers, or, there's throw up or whatever, just like every parent. And there are days when your other children will say things to you like this: how come I can't have a normal family, Mom? How come I can't live in a normal family? Because they don't know any better. And because they think that it's going to be different in a normal family, that they won't be challenged in a normal family, but they don't know any better. They don't know that it's all about learning how to love. They don't know how lucky they are to learn these great big fat love lessons with the siblings they've been given. They don't know that learning unconditional love is what it's all about, and they've been given the perfect siblings to learn that lesson from. So truly, if I were to be asked which one of your children has a disability, I would not say Laurel. I wouldn't. Knowing how to love unconditionally is the key to this life, isn't it? And she knows how to do that perfectly. So I'm not sure there's a disability there. Anyway, we all have our paths, and this is mine. I have 5 children, 3 bigs, as I call them, who are my stepchildren, who I love so much, and 2 children of my own who I never expected to have and who I'm so blessed to have. And 2 of those 5 have diagnoses, whatever that is. Don't we all have a diagnosis? Isn't life a terminal condition? So I focus less on that, and I focus more on the joy that is to be had each day. And I let them show me what they can do, because they never cease to amaze me, and they teach me, and they teach the world what love is all about. Life is not fair. It's just not. And I think that's one of the best parts about it. If you ever have any questions for me about that, if I can ever answer any specific questions, I am so glad to, or comments, because I know I can sure learn from you. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope that I can say something to these parents that is helpful. Take care, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye.